Look at the world. It's the Super Bowl of slaughter. And you can't just sit in the stands, you know? We all gotta get out there and get in the game. It's kill or be killed. Whose team do you want to be on? Because sooner or later, everybody's gotta choose.
Welcome back to episode 91 of the Last Row Podcast, the Halloween horror villain special, Badway. If you're looking for our website, thelastrowpodcast.com, follow us on Twitter at thelastrowpod, facebook.com/thelastrowpod. Hit subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. If you're enjoying the show, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Podchaser, Badway. Ooh, spooky. Ooh.
I'm sorry, Drew, you caught me off there, but we are going to have this very special episode. In full transparency, Drew and I did not have time to actually watch a real movie this week.
We're lazy.
So I had the idea that why don't we just go ahead and do a horror-themed, I don't know, extravaganza, would you call it, Drew? Does this qualify? Maybe it's not quite an extravaganza.
How big does it have to be an extravaganza?
Well, it's got to be it's got to be a ganza.
I think
but like extra of it.
I think we did a Christmas extravaganza one time, didn't we? It was like an on-demand episode.
That was more of an extravaganza.
They had multiple topics.
This is more of a vaganza.
Vaganza.
No, but like the thing is, we don't do horror movies that often, and it's not really like a singling out of it. You know, people always write us in and say, "Hey, how come you guys don't do horror movies?" And I don't know. I think the long story short is that Drew's a big scaredy cat, and he can't watch them in his basement alone at night. Therefore, we don't do horror movies.
I got this glass sliding door here. I can't be. Yeah. I can't be watching a horror movie. What if somebody busts in there? You know?
No, I think the real answer is horror movies are inherently kind of crazy, like as themselves, and sometimes they're kind of hard to like. I don't know. The content that we do doesn't really lend themselves too often to horror. Yeah, but maybe we should change it in the future. I don't know.
I think the closest movie we've done to a horror movie so far has been episode 78. I think. I know what you did last summer. Did we do any others that I can remember in the a million years of us doing the show?
Nope, that's about it.
And I don't know. I mean, growing up, we've talked about this on the show before. I haven't watched a ton of horror movies growing up. When I lived back in the day with you and our friend Julio, I used to watch whatever you guys watched, and if you guys were watching a horror movie, I would be along for the ride. But I can't tell you that I would sit here and put one on. And it's not that I don't enjoy them. Like, I like them. I just don't choose to put them on. And honestly, I don't really like watching them by myself.
Yeah. I think horror movies are inherently a communal thing.
It's like a group thing.
It's a group thing. I think they're better experience in groups. It's the type of thing where if you're in a movie theater, remember those, Drew? Remember movie theaters?
I don't even know what's a movie theater.
It's like it's almost okay to talk during the movie as long as you're talking like to the movie.
Yeah,
at the movie. You know what I mean?
It is. It's like a group thing.
Yeah, but unless it's a quiet movie. Yeah.
What about Halloween movies? Because you could say there's horror movies and then there's Halloween movies, and I don't know what the difference is, but is there anything, so in the spirit of Halloween coming up here, is there anything that you tend to watch this time of year? Is there something that you watch, like a Christmas movie, like a Home Alone type thing for Halloween?
I don't think there's enough Halloween movies to like justify like, oh, that's my favorite Halloween movie. Yeah. But I think all of horror encompasses, the month of October, really. Yeah. My favorite series is the Chucky series. Maybe it's a psychological thing because I was terrified of Chucky growing up, and then once I got over that fear, I kind of embraced it. I went the other way, and so that's my go-to.
Yeah, I don't really have any. I guess if I had to pick, I don't know. I know growing up, a lot of people's favorite horror movie, or not horror movie, Halloween movie. A lot of people's favorite Halloween movie is Hocus Pocus. I know that's like a kid's sort of movie that people watch.
It's a 90s child kind of thing. Yeah.
It's fine. Like, it's fine. I mean, I watched it growing up, and it's entertaining.
I sense some I don't know. I sense something in your voice there with the fine.
I have to be careful because I don't know who our audience is here, but it's all right.
Some people hold that movie dear, and let's just say maybe you don't. You think the other way.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I haven't seen it in forever, so I can't say. But
yeah,
I don't know.
As someone who fully grew up in the '90s, I'm ashamed to say I've never seen it, and I'm probably never going to, just because it's too late for me. It's just too late.
I don't think it's the kind of movie that if you watch right now, you're gonna be like, man, I really wish I watched this and you know this many years ago. It's a good movie. I mean, it's entertaining, but I don't think it's gonna hold up. It's like if you go try to watch Surf Ninjas now for the first time, like you're gonna be like, what the hell is this movie? So. But anyway, for this movie, for this episode, you had an awesome idea for this. You sort of teased the people.
It's an idea. I don't know if it's awesome. It's an idea.
Give our listeners a better idea of what we have planned for them today, because I'm kind of excited where we're going to take this.
So we have decided that we are going to do a bracket style breakdown of our favorite and some of our the most beloved horror movie villains. And we're doing villain scale style, if you guys are familiar with our villain scale. It's that same 1 through 5 style. We took some of the categories from our traditional villain scale, which we usually use for like action movies and dramas, things like that. And we kind of tweaked them a little bit to fit our horror movie villains, killers, et cetera. And with our preface earlier today saying that, well, we're not really big, both of us are not huge horror movie buffs. We're going to full disclosure that we're going to be wrong a lot. And that's okay. You guys can slam us. You guys can laugh with us. You do whatever you want. But we're not claiming to be horror movie experts. We're doing these rankings and these scores and this bracket based solely on our beliefs. And if we don't know a lot about the guy, we're going to just wing it. Yeah. And that's the way it's going to go.
Well, and we had to look up, who I think everyone on this list you're going to know in some capacity. And we know, but we don't know the ins and outs of all of the villains. So we might need to assist the villains wiki. Need an assist from the villains wiki here for
example. The big example for us pre-episode was Pinhead.
Yes,
I've never seen a Hellraiser movie. Drew, have you seen a Hellraiser movie?
I have, but it's been a long time. Yeah. It's been a long time.
But he's an iconic character, and we're going to rank him, even though we don't know him. We're gonna put him into these categories, and we're gonna see what happens.
We'll do our best, and we literally made a bracket that we'll go through it in a second. But we're gonna post it to all the social media accounts. We'll put it on the website because it's good. It's gonna be hard, like as you're listening to this, following along. If you've been with us for a long time, you know that we did another podcast with our friend Ty, the Bauer Hour, BauerHour.com. We did a March Badness bracket where we did all of the 24 villains, and it's sort of a similar style here of what we have. But let me walk everybody through the scale. Bowie mentioned that we did a modified villain scale category list here with some scores. There's still 1 through 5. We added a couple and we tweaked a few. So I'll walk you through them here, and then I'm going to turn it back to Bowie. He's going to walk you through the bracket. But we left look and style. But for this one, and this is the first category, it's a little bit more related to when you think about a horror villain or a Halloween movie, it's related to their weapons. So how are they doing the murdering? Mm-hmm. and maybe their fashion, you got a guy like Pinhead wearing his leather jacket and all this stuff or whatever, leather suit. So that's a 1 to 5. The next one, instead of their plan for domination, it's more motivation. So it's still a plan, but it's really what's their reason for killing or what's the reason for murdering.
Yes.
The next category is the degree of evil and their brutality.
Love
which maybe we can bring that into the actual villain scale. We've been talking about that a long time now.
Yeah,
like what's their evilness?
Yeah.
So how evil or ruthless are they? And then we left hideout and lair because maybe some of these folks have a lair or a hideout. We'll see.
Yeah, and we can tweak it, and we can make exceptions. We'll see what happens there.
And then we got body count. So what's the damage?
Count.
What have they done?
Body count.
1 through 5. And that's going to be an interesting one.
Body count relative to number of movies,
right? Or what they should be doing,
or
right?
Or maybe it's a disappointment.
Yes,
right.
So it's a 5, 1 through 5.
It's not just Freddy killed 100 people, he gets a 5. Right. It's not just that.
Should he kill 100?
It's going to be relative.
Should he be killing 1,000? Like what's his level of damage here? And then since it's a bracket, we needed some way to do a head-to-head. We can't just look at scores. So there's going to be another category that we have. It's a head-to-head category, and it's going to be 1 through 5 versus the other villain. So this is a hard one to explain, so I'll do my best. But basically, whoever wins the head-to-head gets a 5, and then the other person's going to get a score 1 through 4, to help make up. If it's a tie, it's a 5.
Based on how close of a fight. If it would be a blowout, then it would be 5-0.
because we can't just do scores for the sake of scores. We got to have some level of comparison here and a head to head. So
yes.
But anyway, I mentioned we have a bracket. Badway, tell people at the bracket, tell people about the seating. This was a hotly debated conversation that we had here. We should have recorded that part of it as a bonus episode.
This took us a good hour to mock up the seating, and we're still not happy with it, but we're going to go with what we have. So what we have is 12 total teams with four top four seeds getting the bye into the next round. So we have 4 first round matchups, and they will feed into the top seeds. Play-ins, if you will, Drew.
Yes.
So shall I go through the top 4 seeds that get buys? So
go through the buys.
Yeah. So Michael Myers is our 1 seed, and it's all argumentative. I mean, you could argue one way or the other. I see it as he has the movie out, the latest movie out, Halloween Kills, which is very current, still in theaters. So we're going to give him the 1 seed. We're going 2 for Freddy, 3 for Jason, and then 4 for Leatherface. I feel like those are the 4 most iconic horror movie villains, and I think we agreed on that. One. Leatherface, we could have swapped with other people. Who knows? In the play-in round, Drew, I'm going to give you our 4 first-round matchups. The Xenomorph is going up against Pinhead. Great matchup. Winner over that.
Is it the Xenomorph, the race of Xenomorphs, or is it like the one?
It's the race. It's the entire race. So we're going all movies. So that's the 9-8 seed going up, and the winner of that goes against Michael Myers, right?
Yeah. Then
we got Jigsaw versus Jaws, the shark. So we got a shark versus a puzzle man. That's the 5-12 matchup. You know, in 5-12 matchups in college basketball, they're prone for upset, so you never know there.
I like Jaws' chances.
Yeah, right? And that's going up against the 4 seed, which is Leatherface. Then down in the 11-6 game, we got Pennywise, Dancing Clown, versus Chucky, your friend to the end. Winner of that goes up against Jason. And then lastly, Ghostface is going up against Slicker Man from I Know What You Did Last Summer. So 2 teen slashers going up against each other. We thought it was only appropriate. And they're going to go against another teen slasher, Freddy Krueger. And that's how we will kick it into high gear once we get into the quarterfinals. And we'll go from there.
This is going to be an interesting exercise here, let me tell you, because I think we have some really good matchups, and you know it's going to be tricky. So, do you want to start with the 9-8 Xenomorph versus Pinhead?
We got to start 9-8. Let's do it.
All right, so I'll sort of MC this here, but you're going to have to help me through the categories because I know you have a good amount of knowledge about some of these guys. Maybe not this one. I think I know more about the Xenomorph than I know about Pinhead, but let's start with the Xenomorph. So we'll walk through each of these guys, and we're going to kind of score them independently, and then we'll talk about the head-to-head at the very end here. So let's start with the Xenomorph. So the 9 seed. Look and style of this thing. What's its weapons? What's the fashion like? What do you like about the Xenomorph here?
Well, I mean, first of all, you gotta talk about its head and its little guy
phallic.
in its mouth. The little guy in its mouth, right?
Yeah, it's very phallic.
Yeah. Does it get bonus points for being phallic, or do you get points lost for being phallic?
I mean, phallic nature might instill extra fear in people because they're afraid to be penetrated or whatever. That's the whole thing of why H.R. Geiger made the style of that, right? It's like the whole fear of penetration.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would think the Xenomorph to me is pretty damn terrifying. It even has like acid blood and acid spit.
You got the acidy spit, yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be a tough one, and maybe we're going to be relative to some others, but it's got a really cool style, and to me, it looks really menacing. I feel.
Yeah, it's the look, and then with weapons, you got the claws, you got the fangs. It's very animalistic, for an alien. It's got the speed and all that, and the acid blood certainly plays a factor. I don't know, Drew. I mean, it's hard to get much better than this as far as the look goes. It's a very cool design.
You gotta go at least a 4 here.
I think I'm gonna go
maybe 4.
I'm going 4. I think I'm gonna go 4.
I think that works. Yeah. Okay, so you got a 4 for the look and style. What about the motivation? So this, what's its plan? What's its reason for killing? Because I don't know that there actually is one. I think it's just like it just wants to dominate people, and it's kind of a mindless plan.
First of all, you're invading their space there. You're in space, you're in their home. It's kind of like with Jaws. It's like you go in the ocean, you're asking for it, right? You go in the outer space, you're asking for it.
Yeah, they didn't come to Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like, but the real goal is to, like, expand their colonies, right? Is to reproduce and just kind of take over. You know, I don't know if it's a mass plan to take over the world, but they just want to extend their reach as far as they can, right?
I guess. I mean, I don't know if it's even that much. I think they're just they just do their own thing, right? Like, I guess it's mindless to me though. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think it's really well hatched out or anything like that. I think it's just, you know, hey, like there's some humans here. Let's kill them and let's see if we can impregnate them.
I think it's got to be like a 2 to me or less, in my opinion.
That's fair. A 2 is fair.
Go with the 2?
I think a 2 is fair.
Let's go with the 2. What about their degree of brutality? Because this is where I think that they actually do pretty well. They're not necessarily evil, but I think they're ruthless.
Yeah, I agree. I think a solid 3 would be good here, just because the deaths can be pretty brutal, but I feel like they're not like intent on being brutal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's just the nature of the weapons that they're working with. It's not so much that they want to maim, it's that they can't help but maim.
What about like the fact that facehugger thing like impregnates you and then they burst out of your chest? Like, does that count towards the brutality?
Well, that's sort of plan. I mean, that's not brutal to them. That's just the circle of life.
That's what they do, right?
That's just
how they.
That's just hot, steamy alien sex right there.
That's how they roll. All right, what are you saying for that? A 3?
I think a 3 is fair.
All right, that's fair. What about? So, do they have a hideout or a lair? Because you know they're in that spaceship, and then they had that weird planet in like Prometheus, but they're not really in the planet. They're like in the goo, and then they're in those eggs. Like, I don't know that they really have a hideout or a lair. They're out in space.
Yeah, I think this is where they'll suffer with score, just because they just are where they are. I mean, I could be wrong on this. Call us out again. Anytime you feel like we're screwing this up, you guys, just call us out, write us in, tell us we're wrong. But yeah, I mean, I think we got to go 1 at this point because there's not much to talk about.
They don't have like a home planet that I'm aware. I mean, I'm probably wrong on that. I don't think they have one, but
there's nothing to write home about either.
No, I
really.
think it's got to be a 1.
I think what their plan is that they want the world to be their home planet.
Yes,
the universe, not just Earth.
What about their body count? So how many people have they killed? And I don't know if you want to qualify this one of like, is it part of the movies or is it just in the world? Like, how do you want to qualify it?
So we have it as 52 on-screen deaths based on various websites. And that's through, I don't know, off the top of my head, 6-7 movies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of deaths, but
it should be more, shouldn't it?
I feel like they should be more. I guess they're limited to what's on the spaceship or wherever well, the setting of the movie may be. Well, then they don't have guns, I guess.
They gotta attack you physically, so maybe if you run away fast enough, I guess, you can get away.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like some of that's inflated, though. I don't think the body count is super... Like, the number seems high, but it's not impressive to me.
I don't think it's impressive, personally.
Based on their genetic makeup. So what do you think?
I would say 1 or a 2.
Let's go
personally.
2. Let's go 2.
We're gonna get flamed for this, I'm sure, but I don't know. That's my thought on that. And then head to head, let's come back to the head to head one. Let's shift over to the 8 seed, Mr. Pinhead himself. So, or actually, should we total up the score first, or you want to do it at the end there? What do you think?
I think we got to go head to head last, and then total all up.
Okay, let's do that. So let's jump to the 8 seed for Pinhead. His look and style. What's his weapons and fashion like? Okay, so
as we admitted, we know very little about Pinhead, right? So we're just looking at this guy. He's got pins in his head. He's got leather head to toe. He's probably got like a codpiece going on underneath that trench coat, right?
According to the Villains Wiki, he is a sadomasochistic torturer, so he might be into BDSM.
Yeah, he's into some freaky stuff.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. In fact, I mean, I think it lends to his evil.
You might like it. You give him extra points.
What's in that box, Drew? What's in that box? besides the secrets of hell, what is in that box?
Exactly. You know,
could be his dick in a box for all we know.
I mean, what do you think of the pins coming out of the head? It does make him look pretty. Like, so are those pins because he's tortured, or is it because it's going to torture you and it's to scare you?
I don't think he's headbutting anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not sure of this, and again, this is my ignorance showing. Do you think he has any hand-to-hand combat?
No. God,
or is he like unleashing evil on people?
I think he's an evil unleasher because he has like demonic powers. Like if I go into go back to the villains wiki, the powers and skills that the good friends over there at the villains wiki list him are for vast demonic powers, torture methodology, pain immunity, skilled manipulation, highly resistant to physical harm. I don't even know. Elisavinikinesis. What the hell does that even mean? Do you see this?
I mean, when you say pain immunity, I'm thinking that he's loving the pain.
What the hell is this?
It's not just immunity; he gets off on it.
I just looked this up. So elisavinikinesis or whatever.
Elisavinikinesis.
It's the power to manipulate chains and chain-like weapons.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
So this dude, this guy's in 50 Shades of Grey, right? This is the horror version of 50 Shades of Grey.
It's Mr. Grey's father. What's his name? What's his name? Christian Grey?
Christian Grey.
Christian Grey. It's Christian Grey's father. Sure.
What are you giving this guy for look and style?
I mean, really all we're looking at is pins and heads and leather head to toe. I mean, is that worth a high score to you?
I don't think so.
I mean, it could be. I mean, if he's wearing a leather codpiece with spikes on it, if that was visible, I would bump it up. But since we don't know for sure,
are there pins in other heads? Is all.
Yes, and are the pins in the head? Is it for sexual pleasure of him?
Probably.
Does he love it, or is it just the way he is?
No, I think he likes it. I think he's about it, right? And are the pins holding his skin on, or is it? Like, looks like his skin's all cut up. Like,
I feel like it's like pain for pain's sake. It's like, this is who I
need to go watch this movie. I saw this movie like 25 years ago, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. I just knew somebody's skin fell off or something.
Now, what my hope is that there's someone who's listening to this right now who is a Hellraiser fanatic, Drew.
And we're completely
they're
wrong.
just they just shut it off. They just completely shut it off. These idiots have no idea. But we warned you.
We never claimed to be experts. I think this guy's got to go. Let's go middle of the road. Something like a 2 or a 3.
I'm going to give it a 2.
You go 2? All right, let's go 2.
The pins are cool, but his stupid, coat is. It could be better. Be better.
Now, this is where I have no idea on this guy. The motivation. So, what's his plan or reason for killing it? We're going to have to consult the wiki because I really don't know anything about this.
He's there to take over the world, Drew. No.
Is that what it is?
Question about that. Yeah.
What else? Like, is there anything else? Like,
and I feel like, I could be wrong on this, but I think his plan is also to pretty much torture anybody who opposes him or deserves it. Like, I don't know if this is a Pinhead, or not a Pinhead, a Jigsaw situation, right? Where he's torturing bad people, but I think that's part of it.
I got to look this up. I'll have to research this after. I know we don't have much time, but there's just something called the lament configuration here. Now, this is me. I'm really going to bother the people that know about this movie. I got to go back and watch this. I feel like I'm not equipped to score this guy, but I don't know.
It makes me happy to score this guy, knowing nothing about him. And the thought of someone out there who loves this movie and is upset by us not knowing and scoring him makes me even happier.
What do you want to give him? This is going to be like a 3-hour episode, by the way. Everybody listening. What do you want to give this guy?
I'm gonna give him a 3.
All right,
just because I can respect world domination and sexual torturing, which I'm sure a lot of it is sexual for him, anyways, is a plus. So we're gonna say 3.
What about his degree of brutality? So how evil or ruthless? Like, I guess if you just want to torture people, that's pretty evil.
Yeah, and if his name is the Hell Priest and the Dark Priest, right? So I think there's a lot of demonic situations going on in here. He's from hell, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I think he was like a human at some point, and then he became a demon, I guess. I don't know, based on what I read. But from my perspective, if you got demon and hell, like, I think your brutality and degree of evil automatically goes up. Like, you're almost starting at a 5 and you're going down.
And here's this sentence from the Villains Wiki. He also commanded an arsenal of demonic powers and is a master of torture and pain who often prefers to drag his victims into eternity of suffering rather than outright death.
That's like a 5, man.
I think it's a 5
outright.
We got a 5 here, people.
That's a 5. We don't know this guy. We're giving him a 5
already. It's the first 5 of the show.
And so jump back to the hideout and lair. Is there a better hideout than hell? Like, is that a 5 too?
I don't know. Like how, like, if like Satan is like the ruler of hell, he's got the best room in hell, right? He's got the biggest house in hell. Like, how far up or down the list is Pinhead in relation to Satan? Like, is he Satan's henchman?
Maybe he's just in. Maybe he's there. I don't know. Like where. I don't know.
Does he work with Satan, or is it a separate thing? Does he want to take over Satan one day?
I think he's just there. Like he just happens to live there. It's like he's a citizen of the country of hell, but he's not. Okay, all right. He's not leading.
He's not the king of hell.
Yeah, he's not the king or the president.
Nor is he the prince or the president.
No. Okay, I don't know. Like, but I think it's got to be a. And is he in that box? You sound like an idiot. Like, is he in that thing, or he just has the box?
Is the box impressive? I don't know. How do we score the box?
We sound like a bunch of idiots right now. Yeah. We're like, I don't know. I want to give this guy like a 4 for his hideout layer because maybe it's he's not the president of hell. He didn't get elected. No. Maybe he's just there.
He's just a member. He's not a president. He's just. What
about
member.
A 4? You okay with a 4?
Well, if he's just a member and he's not running hell, then I think he should get less than a 4.
Well, maybe a 3.
All right, let's give him a 3.
But it's pretty evil, though.
Well, no, right. Yeah, we're talking about layers. Now, we already gave him a 5 for evil. Yeah. I mean, he already got the points.
All right. What about his body count? Now, I think we have him down for 35 kills, but so this is where it gets tricky, right? You can't just say, 35, it's a 1 to 5, right? So for what he should be able to do, is 35 confirmed on-screen kills enough for, I think, what is this, 5 or 6 movies? Is it 6?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. If your goal is world domination, and you had 5 movies and you only killed 7 people per movie, are you really? That's a slow pace.
That's like a 2 at max.
That's a slow pace. Now, on the other hand, the quality of his kills. Yeah. Now, I mean, this ties into the evilness, right?
Yeah.
So, like, Brutality. Does that matter? Like, of those 35 kills, I mean, he probably had some bangers. We haven't seen. I've seen clips of some of his kills.
Like the guy like took his skin off and stuff.
Does that factor in? Does that factor into the score?
Maybe not to the body count. Maybe we should have put it in brutality. But I think
we already did. Yeah, we already gave him the 5 for that.
I'll say this, right? If he had the ability to kill hundreds and hundreds of people and he's only doing 35, like to me, that's pretty weak. But again, this is me not having any clue about Hellraiser.
Yeah.
Or the franchise. Should we go like middle of the road? Go like 2?
I'm thinking of it 2, just because 7 world domination's your goal, and you have 7 kills per episode or movie. It's kind of weak.
Is there off-screen kills that we don't know about? Like, I don't know, but I guess we can't count it.
Can't count them. I mean, they're good to speculate, but you can't count them.
All right. So now we go to the head-to-head.
We go head-to-head.
So if a Xenomorph went up against Pinhead, like, is that because Pinhead is otherworldly? Like, can he just like snap his fingers and then the Xenomorph just disappears? Like, what? How does it work?
I feel like I feel like the Xenomorph doesn't have the mental capacity or like the reasoning skills to figure out how to defeat a godlike figure
from hell. Yeah.
Yes, you know what I mean. It's like he can have all the power he wants. It's like Batman fighting the Joker. It's like all that strength and nothing to do with it.
I feel like Pinhead wins this. Like I don't. You can't defeat a ghoul or a ghost.
The ghoul Pinhead.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a ghoul.
This is the best episode, Drew. I love this.
Like, how would this thing fight it? It can't. Yeah. Like, can he just disappear?
Yeah,
like, the Xenomorph is like a physical thing. Like, this guy is like, he's an idea.
Yeah. Now, Pinhead is defeated in his own movies in certain ways that we have no idea about. But obviously, he was defeated by like logic and reason, and not through physical force. Like, no one's punching Pinhead and killing him, or pushing him off a cliff. Or something like that. What if somebody
like got like a super soaker full of like holy water or something?
I feel like you beat him by putting him back in the box or something like that. Like, so, and the Xenomorph can't do that.
I remember watching this, like, I told you my grandmother had like a hot box back in the day. And I remember just like watching this movie. I'm like, what the hell is this movie? It was like a lady in like a mental institution and this box is opening up and these weird people are showing up. Like, it kind of make me want to watch this movie now. I think Pinhead gets intrigued. A 5, doesn't he?
I'm intrigued.
He gets a 5. I'm giving the Xenomorph like a 2 maybe. Actually, maybe it should be maybe a 1 or a 0, because how's he even going to go against it?
Yeah, I feel like it's just a bad fight just because he doesn't have the reasoning skills. He's no supernatural. Skills. Yeah.
So it's a 0, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think it's a 0.
All right. I have the scores, so do you want me to recap? Do you have them? Or do
I got them all. I got them here. So all right, the Xenomorph has a 12.
Yep.
Right?
Do you want to go through the categories?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so It had a 4 for look and style, a 2 for motivation, a 3 for degree of brutality. Hideout and lair was a 1. Body count, I forgot what we gave it. I don't remember. I think it was a 2.
2.
And then head to head, it got a 0.
Yep.
And then
Pinhead?
For Pinhead, we had a 2 for look and style, a 3 for the motivation plan, 5 for brutality, 3 for the hideout and lair, and then the body count, we gave it a 2, him a 2, and head to head, we gave him a 5.
5 for the head to head, so that's 5, 10, 15, 20.
Oh man,
that's a high
20
score.
To 12. That's going to be.
That's a 20 out of 30.
Wow, that's a pretty good one there.
That's a blowout right there. Could have been swayed. Hey, with a closer fight, could have swayed it a little bit, but couldn't happen.
Man, so that means that Pinhead's going against Michael Myers.
It's a good fight. Sounds like a good fight.
I'm filling out the bracket as we're doing this too. By the way, I'm putting the scores in the bracket, so we'll have that on the website after. I'll publish it blank, and then I'll show everybody after.
And it just goes to show you how the head-to-head battle could really sway a lot of these matchups.
This could be interesting.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move to the next one. We'll try to keep it moving here for everybody listening. So we got the 5 seed Jigsaw versus the 12 seed Jaws.
Oh yeah, so we got a hostile species on our hands here too.
Isn't that literally how they? That's literally how they categorize it on the Villains Wiki.
Yeah.
So let's start with Jigsaw, number 5. His look and style. And you got to go with the doll, right? He's got the doll first.
That counts. That counts. The doll definitely counts.
But he himself just wears like a robe, right?
It's it's a old man robe, and he's an old man, and he's got cancer, or is it just an ambiguous disease? Here's
another one, right? Me being another idiot. I think there's like 7 Saw movies or more, and I've only seen like 1 or 2. And I have no idea if there's multiple Jigsaw killers or it's the same guy for all movies.
There it goes back and forth. It's convoluted. It's not all him, but it's him.
I'm giving this guy,
what's his name? Freaking John
Tobin Bell,
John
right?
Kramer. Well, his real name's Tobin Bell. John Kramer. Yeah, they try to do another killer or two, or like a disciple. I think in the second one. But it's like it's all him.
They should have a movie called Son of Jigsaw. That's what they should like. I don't know for the look and style. I mean, he gets at least a 2 for the doll because the doll is pretty cool,
pretty creepy, pretty cool.
Himself, he doesn't look fancy at all. Like I think it's got to be like a 2.
He's a feeble, dying old man, and there's not really much else you can do with it.
Let's go 2.
He would get a 0 if not for the doll, so he's getting a 2, and he's got to like it.
And the doll's a nice touch, Yeah. I'm gonna give James Wan the credit on that one because I think he pretty much invented that. Yeah. What about? See, this is where I think he's going to be good. His motivation, so his plan or reason for killing.
Yeah, he is a torturing, murderous vigilante.
Right. He's like the Batman, right?
He thinks he's the Batman of murder. Is he not?
Yeah. We had Christian Grey was the Batman of sex, and we got.
He's actually the Riddler. I forgot.
He's the Riddler. Go back and listen to 50 Shades of Grey.
The Batman of sex. He's more like the Riddler of murder, I guess, more than the Batman of murder.
The Riddler of murder, that's true.
Although Riddler probably murdered a bunch of people too.
That's true.
Anyways.
What are you giving him?
So his goal is basically to evade the police as he puts on these murder puzzles to pretty much to torture guilty people to either teach them a lesson or to kill them for not learning said lesson in time.
He's trying to get him to learn, right? Yeah. That's like the real motivation to your point.
And if you don't learn quick enough, you're dead.
Yeah. What do you think?
Some of these puzzles are like it's like you're doomed.
You're set up to fail. You're going to die.
You're set up to fail. Ah, man, what are we talking about? Jeez,
his motivation.
His motivation. That's right.
What was his motivation? I don't even know. Like,
he's a vigilante. I mean, I think that's all it is to it. So
he was like, because he had cancer, he wanted people to live their life better or something, right?
Yes.
I don't think that's. I don't know. That's pretty. That's
pretty weak.
Pretty weak. I want to go like a 1.
1. All right.
No, let's go 2. We'll give him a 2.
I mean, I was ready to go with you, but okay.
Yeah. All right. What about his degree? See, this is where I think it's not evil, but it's ruthless.
Well,
so his degree of brutality.
Yeah. Some of these contraptions are evil.
Like the bear chain thing on the girl's head, like in the first movie.
Oh yeah. I think of 2, where it's like he's got the girl had to put her hands in the needles to get the key.
That's gross.
Oh my god.
I think this is a high one to me. Yeah. I think he should get like a 4 maybe here. Maybe
not
4. A 5.
I think 4 is good. I'm good with 4.
What about his hideout and his lair? So It's pretty weak.
Dusty Warehouse?
Yeah.
Is that?
Let's go 1. I don't even think it deserves a conversation.
Yeah, let's move it along.
Body count. How many people has he killed?
So we have 60 kills on record, which is pretty good for, like, think about it. He's an old man, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have
and
a lot
he's only
of mobility.
one at a time. He's killing one person at a time.
Well, he gets a group. So he gets a group sometimes. Sometimes. Like in 2, there's a group.
All right.
But, like, for him to be able to lure you, like, it's got to be work for him to lure his kill because he's not physical, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's impressive that he, like, gathers up all these idiots to somehow, like, sucker them in.
The
right?
idiots.
Yeah.
The idiots. I would give him a pretty decent one here, like 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like a realistic serial killer goes, 60 is a high number.
It's true. What are you going? You score.
I think 4.
Okay.
I think 4 is fair.
And then we'll go head to head after we talk about one of my personal favorites, the Dark Horse here.
I got to tell you, before we move on, Jigsaw has a very low score for a 5 seed.
For what he is?
Yeah, I got to tell you.
Should we have reseeded him?
Well, that's why the 12 seed sometimes upsets Drew. Let's see what happens.
He's a feeble old man.
Let's see what happens.
He played better than his record, or he's worse than his record here.
Yeah.
My personal favorite, the dark horse of the whole tournament here, number 12.
You want Jaws. The shark to win. You want the shark to win it all.
I'm a fan of sharks. I like Shark Week. I like King Shark from Suicide Squad. I'm a fan. Jaws is I like the Jaws movies. I've only seen them a few times, but I like them. So let's just put this guy through here. And we're talking about the actual shark, not the animatronic thing. Yeah. So the look and the style of Jaws.
How do you score a shark, Drew, on look and style?
So, it's like, what is the expectation of what a shark looks like? And he is freaking huge. Yeah. So I feel like, he doesn't necessarily have weapons outside of his teeth, which are razor sharp.
Pretty good weapons.
He's like eating boats, eating people. Yeah. Like, I think that you got to go at least a 3 here.
I think you
maybe
can't
more.
I don't know. I feel like you can't go higher than 3.
You going to 3?
Just because he is impossible to accessorize.
All right.
You can't give him a weapon besides his teeth, and those are homegrown. Like he can't like wear a cool outfit. He can't have a ponytail. It's like there's nothing he can do to accessorize.
Could you imagine a shark with a ponytail? Yeah. Like, where would it be? Would the ponytail be behind the fin, or is it like on his heels?
He's in the water, so like if you put some jeans on him, he makes his mobility like completely ineffective. So,
and if a shark wears jeans, is it like where do the jeans start? Does it go up to like the first fins? Like, how does it even?
What if
wear
the jeans are on backwards so the zipper so the fin can stick out?
Yeah. I'm with you. I'll go 3 here. I'll go 3.
3 is good.
What about motivation? His reason for killing? Is there one?
Oh man, I think it's just you're in his home, man.
Stay out of the water.
Get off my lawn, right?
It's the purest motivation of all.
Yeah. I mean, I can respect the hell out of that,
But it's not very strong, is it? I don't know.
But I can respect it.
Maybe I would say 3 here, personally.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go 3.
Unless you want to go lower, I don't know.
No, I was going to say 2, but I'll defer to you.
All right, let's go 3 because
we're not doing half scores, so yeah.
Yeah, it's too complicated, but it's 3 because you're in his house, get the hell out.
Yeah.
It's a pure motivation.
You must protect this house. You must.
What about this? Is where he might not have a good. I'm assuming it's a he. I don't even know. Maybe Jaws is a girl.
Yeah, this is 2021, Drew. You shouldn't assume.
Degree of evil and brutality. How evil and ruthless are they?
No, because, again, get off my lawn. Yeah. He's just defending his house.
But he eats the crap out of people. It's not even like he just bit him and tasted him and went away. He's like eating the boat.
Yeah.
I
mean, you got to, he keeps a tight lawn. So all the debris, you got to eat the debris.
I really want Jaws to win. I really do. So I feel like...
We're not just handing out 5s, all right?
I know. All right. What do you want to do? 1 here?
I feel like a 2, just because like
all right.
His killing is really, instinct, I feel.
Pure.
I don't think there's any evil behind those shark eyes.
It's just pure.
Yeah.
Pure killing.
Yeah, pure animalistic. Right?
What about his hideout in his lair? Like, is this like, like hell is like the ultimate lair of the other realm? Like, is the ocean the ultimate hideout and lair because he's got the whole thing?
Yeah, it's all his. He could swim to anywhere he wants. I mean, it was the Atlantic, it was Pacific.
And if you're on his turf, man, you're in trouble.
Yeah, man.
What do you think? What would you score?
It doesn't have a lot of amenities.
It's true.
But it's vast.
He's got all the food he could want.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna go 3, just because the possibilities are endless. But again, underneath the accessories, like, you can't accessorize.
All right, I'm good with that.
It's better than a dank warehouse. I'll give you that one.
We're totally skewing this category. I want Jaws to win. What about the body count? So how many people did Jaws kill?
So it's on record that he killed 30 humans and 7 animals. Do the animals count?
Is it animals like, is it like a dog or something, or is it like a seal?
I think a dog bit it in one of them. I'm pretty sure there was some seal action. I don't remember all of them. But what I do know is that if it has a heartbeat and it's on screen, it counts.
So how do you think this is more? Is he punching above his weight class here? Like, what's going on with the score here?
I mean, I feel like it's pretty impressive considering that he can't go on land.
Yeah.
Right? So
pretty good.
He's pretty much clearing up whoever steps in his domain there.
This is going to be tough. Depending on what this one is, the head-to-head's going to decide it, I think. I'll let you decide.
But at the same time, it's not terribly impressive. I mean, I'm gonna go solid 3. What do you think?
Okay, that's fair. I'll go 3.
And again, like, we're giving away 2s and 3s to Jaws. I know how bad you want Jaws to advance, but I'm not gonna allow it to just like. Yeah. I'm not gonna allow cheating, Drew.
I mean, we could go lower on some of these. I feel like
I'm just like, we're gonna be fair about this.
All right. I really want. I just really want to see Jaws versus Leatherface so bad. So
well, we can hope, but we're not going to cheat. If we're going to get there, it's going to be organic.
And before we get there, we got to do head to head of Jigsaw versus Jaws. So here's where it's going to be tricky, because Jigsaw is maybe a genius.
Yeah.
And can a genius defeat a shark? I think they might be able to.
Can he just make a bomb?
He can make a trap.
I mean, Jaws can lure you into a trap when like when it comes to the ocean. Like, he's pretty good at hiding and popping, and with Jigsaw, for lack of a better word.
And with Jigsaw, I feel like maybe he would be overconfident. Like, he's a genius. He could just make this trap, and then Jaws will just eat him because he's a feeble old man.
He looks like the type that would be seasick too.
Yes.
So it's like, how's he going to get on the boat? Because he's going to be throwing up everywhere, leaving DNA for the shark to like scent out. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. And he can't swim in that robe. No. Get the hell out of here. Yeah. And the shark will he'll eat the doll in 2 seconds.
Like, I feel like Jigsaw could easily make a bomb or some kind of contraption, but like to set it in the ocean is just, I don't see it happening.
He's got like one of those mines from Batman Forever.
I don't.
The mines when the boat's going through it.
So I mean, I would have Jaws as winning this, but I don't think it's a blowout.
Maybe it's 5-4 or something.
I think 5-4 is fair, because if Jigsaw were a like stronger, younger person, not sick with I don't know if it was cancer,
some type of cancer,
whatever it was, yeah, and I look at the guy; he's throwing up when he gets on that boat. So
yeah,
but otherwise, he should be able to outsmart the shark. But in this case, no. I'm gonna go 5-4. I think that's fair.
I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. All right, I'll do a recap, and then you give the total scores here. So. Jigsaw had a 2 for look and style, 2 for motivation, 4 for degree of brutality. Hideout and layout was a 1, and the body count was a 4, I think we gave him. And then the head-to-head was he got a 4. And then Jaws was 3 for look and style, 3 for motivation, 2 for degree of brutality, 3 for hideout and layer, 3 for body count, and then the 5 from the head-to-head. What was the totals?
So we got a 17 out of 30 for Jigsaw and a 19 out of 30 for Jaws. You get your wish.
Jaws, man. Jaws is doing it, man.
The 12 seed upsets again. I swear we didn't set it up. It actually happened that way. We did not talk about scoring beforehand. This is live. This is how it goes.
Jaws is set up to face Leatherface, and that's this is gonna be interesting here.
Your dream matchup.
It's gonna be interesting. All right, so now we'll keep it moving. Now we're at the the 11 seed versus the 6 seed. Here is my
favorite, Chucky. Now you're gonna have to stop me from just giving him 5s.
I'm okay with it because I think Chucky's pretty strong, and honestly, I've seen it part 1. I have not seen part 2.
Oh,
so
man.
I need to watch it still. I know a little bit about Pennywise, so you're going to have to help us through here. So look and style for Pennywise, I think it's pretty damn good, personally.
Yeah, and like, not only is it good, he can kind of like become anything, morph into anything.
Like, so what's the weapons, too? It's like his teeth and his claws, right?
It can be anything, man.
Yeah, it's your nightmare.
Yeah, he's got high-level intellect, you know? He's the master of disguise. He's got mind manipulation. He has trickery and cunning, as per the villain's wiki.
I looking style, it's got to be a 5. Honestly, it's got to be. It's at least a 4, in my opinion.
I mean, a lot of people have a fear of clowns, and that's his like, main form.
I don't want to break this
that's damn scary. I'm going to go 4. Dare I say 5? I'm
okay.
5.
You pick.
I'm going to go 5. Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
5.
Let's do it.
I think he knocks it out of the park.
A clown is scary enough, and then you put a scary clown.
It's the fact that his main form is a clown that works.
And are we going the Skarsgård version or the Tim Curry one?
I'm gonna go to Skarsgård because it's more recent, and I think
the more
better.
recent.
Yeah.
What about his motivation and the plan for killing?
I mean, isn't it just to install fear? Like
I think, right? Doesn't he drinks the fear, right?
Feed on the fears of the children of Derry and devour them every 27 years to fulfill his hunger.
Yeah, he's like hungry for it.
Yeah.
It's pretty diabolical, personally.
Control and expand its influence over all of Derry to help it devour the town's children.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up. Yeah. That's pretty messed up.
Yeah. So it's messed up. Yes, it is. That could be more evil, brutal.
And that's the brutality. So, but the motivation is he's hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So is that?
I mean, that's an animalistic, feeding his animalistic urges for sure.
So maybe it's like a 3 because it's just, he just wants it. He wants the fear.
He just wants it.
So he's got to get it. But that's about it. Like, it's not like he's avenging someone's death or something like that. It's just he wants he's hungry.
I'm good for a 3.
Let's do 3.
Yeah, he's a strong character, so.
All right. He's pretty seated pretty low, actually, when I look at it. At an 11, I think he's better than Jigsaw, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
What about the degree of brutality? I mean, when you're killing kids, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, and feeding on their fear. I mean, geez, what do you say? What do you say? What do you do?
I mean, I can't give him a 5, but I mean, we could.
I think he's more evil than brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, he has killed brutally, but I think he's higher in evil than brutal. I don't know. What do you think? I'm thinking maybe a 3 or a 4.
I'll say 4.
All right,
let's do 4.
4 it is.
What about hideout and lair? Does he have one? He's like in that sewer, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, that's just one place that he lives. But like, I think in the second one, they I don't know where exactly it is. It's underground. It's underground. There's a house too. There's also a house.
An alien? Is he an alien?
Long story short, he is an alien. Yes.
So it's like, where's his spaceship? We didn't even see it.
I don't know. I don't know why he resides on Earth. I feel like maybe that's written in the book somewhere that
maybe he got stranded.
Read. Yeah. There's something about a cosmic turtle that's in the book that isn't in the movies. I haven't read the book.
It's not a great hideout.
No, I mean, sewers or a dank house, not the greatest.
What about like a 2?
If that, I'm thinking even 1.
We'll go 1. Let's go 1.
1 there.
Yeah, let's go. I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, I mean, and the underground, it has like a pile of bodies. It's like, it's pretty messed up.
It's pretty messed up.
But it's not terribly impressive to me.
All right. I mean, it's kind of creepy though. I'll go. Let's keep it a 1.
You want to go? I can go 2.
Switch to 2.
Because I mean, I'm not even sure if that's his main hideout or not.
If he had a spaceship, I'd give him even higher.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he got stranded.
Yeah.
What about the body count?
All right, so this is where it gets complicated, Drew. Because you said you only saw the first It, right?
Yes.
And in that movie, he has 1 kill.
Yes.
And then in It 2, he has 4 kills for a total of 5 on-screen deaths.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a Reddit user out there that I researched named Angel Home that estimates that since he terrorized this town on one single day every 270 years, or one day every year, or one day every so often. I think it was 27 years for hundreds of years. That the death total could be well into the 12 to 18,000 range, but we can't count it, can we?
Not really. Not when you
count it.
We can't confirm it.
Didn't see it. Can't confirm it. Those could have been many accidents, lost people, lost children. We can't. Who's to say that there's 20 kids go missing one year? 19 of them might have been Pennywise, but one might have just went gone. We can't. If we can't confirm one, we can't confirm them all, Drew.
I agree with that.
So if we're going 5 on-screen kills in 2 movies, I think that's pretty weak. I think it's pretty weak.
I would agree. I almost want to say it's like a 1.
Yeah.
Let's go 1.
I think it's a 1.
All right. Well, we'll come back to head-to-head. So let's jump over to your boy.
My boy.
Your boy,
the
Chucky.
Chuck.
Look and style.
Well, look and style. I mean, we gave Pennywise a 5 based mainly on his clown exterior, which morphs. Clowns are very scary, but dolls are also very scary, creepy.
I agree.
Who hasn't had a creepy looking doll in their house in their life, right?
I totally agree.
All right, yeah. And the fact that the doll comes to life and is coming at you, come on.
This has to be a 5.
Main weapon of choice is the butcher knife, although he does use he used strangulation, Very rarely does he use a gun, but he has used a gun in the past.
It's like a little doll using a gun. It's hilarious to me.
Yeah, you got to double hand it, the handgun. But yeah, mainly a butcher knife, and it made me afraid of both dolls and knives growing up. I was afraid of knives.
Were you?
Because of Chucky. Yes.
I can understand. I mean, especially when a doll is using a knife.
Yep. I don't know. I'm willing to give him a 5.
We got to go 5
because
he's creepy as hell.
Classic good guy doll, man. I mean, the shirt, the striped colored shirt, the red shoes, the overalls. It looks like a Christmas hit toy. I think it's designed well.
Was that Buddy doll? Do you remember Buddy? It was like an actual doll.
My buddy.
That's what it looks like it was designed off of.
Wherever I go, he goes, my buddy. Yep.
You know what's funny about this thing? I remember you told me, and this is when I early on when you and I became friends. I remember you told me that you were freaked out by Chucky, and I remember seeing the toy, and they had it, and it was the full on Buddy doll, and I almost got it for you, but then I was like, not to scare you, I thought it would be a cool gift, and then I was like, well, maybe it would get you over your fear, but I don't know. You like it now.
I mean, I like it now, but to this day, Drew, I don't think I would own a Chucky doll in my home.
Like, imagine you wake up in the middle of the night, you see that thing staring at you.
Just for psychological purposes. Like, obviously, I know he's not going to come to life and get me, but like for psychological purposes, like I'd rather. You sure about that?
You sure about that?
I'd rather not have it in my house.
You sure about that?
Yeah. It's like you're asking for it. I'm not asking for it. Okay.
What about his motivation, his plan, reason for killing?
Okay. Well, I mean, Charles Lee Ray, famous serial killer of Chicago, with his dying breath. Transfers his soul into a doll. And from then on, it's about finding some sucker kid to transfer his soul into, which seems a lot harder than it should be at all times.
Sounds like a Vigo the Carpathian plan.
It seems kind of easy to execute, but he just can't quite seem to figure it out, right?
When you're a doll, you can't control your body, I guess.
But I mean, like, even a kid could pick you up, so it's like he can be physically dominated. So it's like, I guess it's hard to fulfill that plan, but his plan and reason for killing is to... I don't know, kill anybody who's in his way, and plus he also loves it.
Yeah, he's a serial killer.
Like, he gets off on the killing. Like, that's his thing. But also knocking off people who are in his way of trying to get back to becoming human.
So he just his plan is like he wants to become human again into the kid's body.
Yeah, he needs to find a kid, tell him a secret, and then transfer a soul using voodoo magic.
That's a pretty good motivation, personally. To get your life back? That's pretty good motivation.
To be able to, so he can transfer his soul into a child, therefore have a long lifespan again.
Yeah.
And he can continue this process as long as he wants.
Or maybe his plan, maybe his execution isn't great, but his motivation's pretty damn high.
But the plan's pretty good.
I think that's a very solid plan. Like, I'd say at least a 4 here. Personally.
We'll go 4.
All right, let's do it. What about his degree of brutality and evil? You gave a lot of good detail there. I think it's pretty high when you're messing with kids. I say anytime you have kids, just like Pennywise.
But he never kills the kids. He only kills the adults because he has to befriend the kids so that he can lull them into a false sense of security so that he can perform the ritual on them.
True.
Now, some of the murders are very brutal and elaborate, especially the longer you go into the series. Into ridiculous, but I don't think he's particularly more brutal than a lot of people on our list.
Fair enough.
I mean, he's evil in the fact that you could call him an evil doll, and he's evil in the fact that he gets off on killing people. But I also wouldn't consider him particularly demonic, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't believe he scores super high, but I think a 3 suffices.
I'm good with that. That makes sense. What about his hideout and his lair?
Well, his hideout is your house, Drew. Or anyone's house that he happens to find himself in.
It's either the best or the worst.
Which is very freaking creepy.
I think that is a really good hideout lair because he's where you are.
Yeah, he's where you are.
Isn't he in the kid's suitcase in the one when he goes to school? Like he hitches a ride in the kid's suitcase or something? When he went to college or military school?
I think it's the third one, a military school. Yes.
I forgot about that. What do you give him here?
I don't know. I think it's a good hideout. I mean, it's he's literally hiding out in your room, disguised as a doll. I mean, Andy knows that he's a killer doll, but to everyone else, it's like, oh, look at this ugly looking doll, and like he can like really, spring into action, give that surprise. I don't know, but at the same time, it's not his house.
Yeah.
So he can't lay claim 100% ownership.
You could set up traps.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go in the middle of the road. You're gonna give it a 3.
3's good.
Yeah.
And then what about his body count?
Okay, well, he's like 2 feet tall. And he has 38 kills in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 movies, I think.
It's pretty good.
7 or 8 movies.
For being a 2 foot tall doll.
I don't know if we count the reboot or not.
I don't know. It's up to you.
That's either or. But for being a little, physically unimposing guy, 38's a lot to me.
I mean, he's not even human. He's a toy.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good.
And it's up there with, like, as you'll find out, it's up there with the likes of, like, a Freddy Krueger and all that. So, yeah, I think 4, because it's not, like, that's overly fair. Impressive, but it's impressive enough for size to give it 4.
What about the head-to-head? Because you got Pennywise, the creepy alien clown, versus Chucky the doll.
Yeah. Here is where I think Chucky takes a bit of a dive.
Yeah.
Because, again, kind of like Pinhead, like, how do you kill Pennywise? Like, the kids did it because they had, I think they showed unity and that they're not afraid of him.
The power of their friendship.
Yeah. And I feel like, Chucky is your friend to the end. But I think Pennywise will see through that bullshit.
But if Chucky is so evil, he's not afraid. Like, because Chucky's pure evil. Like, is Chucky afraid of Pennywise, or will it just be like it's like?
No, that's the thing.
It's neutralized.
It's neutralized just because. Yeah, Chucky would see through his.
He's not afraid. He would
never be afraid of him, but at the other time, he wouldn't be able to defeat him because
that's true.
Because of his overwhelming positive energy.
Maybe it's a draw.
It might be a draw, just because. But on the other hand, Pennywise could just murder him. Like, it can easily be done. And Chucky cannot easily murder Pennywise. So maybe
it's like 5-4?
Maybe 5-4 or 5-3 even, just because Chucky would have, like, no chance.
Yeah, we'll do 5-3.
Yeah, 5-3.
All right. So if we recap this, Pennywise, the 11 seed, the other dark horse, 5 for look and style, 3 for motivation, 4 for degree of brutality or evil, 2 for hideout and lair because he had that stinky sewer, 1 for body count, and then a 5 for the head-to-head versus a 3 for Chucky there. And then Chucky had a 5 for look and style, a 4 for motivation, a 3 for degree of evil, a 3 for his hideout because he's in your house, and then his body count was a 4. and
because he's in your house.
Yeah. And then the head-to-head is a 3. Yeah. So you give me the totals here.
All right, so Pennywise getting a 20 out of 30.
All right, and not bad.
Chucky advancing with a 22.
Ooh.
So if we're keeping score so far, Pennywise has equaled Pinhead for the lead until Chucky had a 22.
Oh, man. Okay.
And I was worried that we were overpowering Chucky, and thought maybe we could have gone lower on the head-to-head for Chucky, but in the end, it wouldn't have mattered anyways.
Yeah, so I don't think it matters.
It didn't matter anyway.
He gets the points.
He still gets the nod.
Yeah, okay.
Last first round matchup coming up.
So the last one of the opening round, only 2 hours into the episode. It's funny, before we did this, we were like, yeah, maybe it'll be like 30 minutes. And here we are. We always do that.
Effing chance, Drew.
Hopefully you guys get some Ganza out of this extravaganza here. So we're giving you a little bit
definitely
more.
Turn into an extravaganza.
But you got number 11. Did I do this? I screwed up the numbers here, didn't I?
It's 7.
It's number 7. I screwed this up. That's so okay. Number 7, Ghostface from Scream fame versus Ben Willis himself, the Slicker Man. The number 10 from I Know What You Did Last Summer. Go back at episode 78 and check it out. So
let's be honest, Drew. This is a weak matchup.
This is super weak. You know, I don't know how the hell these guys. How did Jaws seed lower than these guys? Come on, come on. I'll try to go through these super
because
quick.
He's a fish.
Yeah, he's a fish.
Or is he a mammal? Or sharks mammals? Is that how that works? I forget.
I'll try to go through. It's like 3 a.m. I can't think of ecology right now. Yeah. Let's go through these relatively quickly. So Ghostface, right. We'll go through this one fast. Look and style. It's iconic. Iconic.
It's simple yet effective.
It's a knife and a mask.
I could do better with the robe. The knife is pretty sweet. It's not your standard knife. It's definitely a murderer's knife.
Did you get that at East Meets West at the mall there?
Yeah. I'm gonna give I think a 4 is doable, right, Drew?
I think that's true because of how iconic it is and that mask. And you could be anybody. You could get that at the Halloween store. That mask was at the Halloween store before this movie existed. I had that mask before this movie even came out.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Motivation. What is I don't even know the motivation because it's different killer every movie, isn't it?
Yeah, but for the original, isn't it that it was Billy Loomis, and wasn't it that his Sydney, who was what's her name, Nev Campbell?
Nev Campbell.
Her mom banged his dad and ruined his family. I think that's kind of what happened.
It's pretty bad.
Something like that. So, am I wrong on that?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've seen this.
I feel like that's what happened, and that's like that, and that was the motivation. So he seduced her, and then to get revenge, and then ultimately kill her and her friends.
Was Billy Loomis that guy Skeet Ulrich?
It was Skeet, all right. There was some skeeting going on.
It's the best name ever. Billy Loomis, Skeet Ulrich, also known as Chris Hooker in The Craft.
Do you think that after the Little John song came out, that he freaking hated his name and
he might
started going by something else? Maybe he's like, don't call me Skeet anymore.
What is Skeet short for? Is it like Scott or something?
Skeeter?
Like
from Doug?
But what is Skeeter like?
Yeah, Scott, like turning Scott's already one syllable. So you can't make it shorter. Like, Skeet is longer than Scott. So.
Like, what is Skeet short for? Or is it a nickname because he likes to go clay shooting or something? Man. Like, I don't know. Is it, he's up there with like 90s icons to me, like him and Matthew Lillard. Like, he is 1994 to me, or whatever the hell that movie was.
This movie was perfectly casted.
I want to know what the hell Skeet is. He's 51, by the way. Do you feel old?
Yeah. We almost did this movie as this episode, but we just didn't have time.
We should do it.
We should do it eventually.
What do you give this guy's motivation? It's got to, if someone banged your mom and ruined your family, you just want to get him back.
I feel I may be fuzzy on the details because it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
We need to rewatch it just so we know.
Yeah.
You scored. I can't do it.
I mean, so it's the whole revenge thing, and they seem to be having fun with it too, because they're a little sick.
He's toying with them.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think it's a 4. I think it's good.
It's a 4? All right. I'll do 4. The degree of brutality. I mean, you're calling somebody on the phone. That's pretty evil.
It's torture. It's torturous. Like, I'm going to kill you. But he was kind of a bitch. Like, he was able to get beat up by a lot of people. Just he escaped, unmasked, I don't think he's typically brutal or evil. I just think
he was just demented.
He's just kind of a jerk, and a little demented.
It's kind of psycho.
And a little psycho.
I don't know. Like a 2, maybe.
I think a 2 would work here. Yeah.
I think a 2.
Yeah.
What about the hideout and lair? Was it like the van? Like, I don't even know what the hell was it.
No, he didn't have a van.
That was the news guys, I guess. So
I don't even know. He did a murder in a van. Like, I don't even think he had a hideout. His house in the suburbs.
His mom's house?
Stu's house? I don't know.
Yeah. This has got to be like a 1, right?
I bet Stu, who was Matthew Lillard, his parents probably had a pretty sweet basement hangout.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
You got to go 1 here, right? Like, there is no hideout. It doesn't exist. He's a high school kid.
High school. Yeah, the school. I don't know.
He's a 30-year-old playing a high schooler, as always. But you got to go 1 here, I think.
He's got nothing. He's got nothing. It's a 1.
What about his body count? So this is interesting. Are we looking at the first movie or are we looking at all of them?
Yeah, we're looking at all of them. I mean, we're gonna say that Ghostface is all of the movies. That's what we've been doing with a lot of this.
Yeah.
So we have 35 plus. It's unconfirmed. 35 plus. Maybe one of them lived, one of them didn't. Maybe it's 34. Maybe it's 36. Somewhere in that range. So for these people that are the killers to be, for the most part, regular people, right?
Yeah.
They kind of like have either gone insane or pushed over the edge. Like the second one, it was the reporter, which was kind of dumb.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah, and also it was our boy. I'm blanking on the name.
Jerry O'Connell. It wasn't him.
That was
they
the one that
crucified him.
Yeah, that was the one who was crucified. Oh, damn it! He's our boy. He's our boy from Girl Next Door.
Timothy Olyphant.
Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah,
that's who it was. Yeah. So they're like regular people. So if most of these kills are done by like regular people with normal strength, and they're not typically evil, 35 seems like a good number, right?
That's pretty good
for 4 movies.
I feel like we didn't score the other ones fairly then, because we're talking about him banging his mom, like we didn't score all of the plans and all of the motivations. Like I guess it's just revenge, pure revenge, and that's okay.
Yeah, I think that's the one people remember the most. That's why I go for this.
Okay,
one.
That's fine.
Yeah, but as far as the overall kill count, for all of them, we've been doing all kills. So
what do you say? Like
it can
3?
be a different person. Yeah, it's respectable, but it's not impressive. But I think 3 is fair.
Yeah. Okay. What about Ben Willis himself, Slicker Man?
I mean, we've put Ben Willis through our typical villain scale before.
What we did.
I think he did pretty poorly.
His look and style was like a 1, wasn't it? Or you liked it? So it's going to be. I forgot.
I did like it. You liked it less so.
You want to reevaluate?
Yeah, it's going to reevaluate. We're going to throw that out, and because we have different categories anyway for a lot of this stuff. So, look and style. Again, I'm a fan of the Slicker outfit and the hat and the hook. I'm a fan of it. I think it works. I think it's creepy enough. It wasn't very planned out. It's likely what he just had laying around the boat.
It's simple,
effective, but it's not overly impressive as well. So I would give it a 3.
I'm good with that.
Would you agree, or would you rather a 2?
No, we can go 3 because the nice thing about his look and style is he can blend in with other fishermen, and I think that's sort of a good idea.
It's tactical.
Yeah. And what about his motivation and the reason for killing? Wasn't it revenge for
these damn kids?
The kids.
Yeah, they killed his boy. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2 just because revenge is it's been done, right?
It's been done.
It's been done better. It's been done better by Billy Loomis in the episode that he's up against.
There's been dishes better served.
Yeah.
What about degree of brutality?
That's pretty good. I don't know.
They had the Bobby Flay version of revenge there.
I'm trying to remember his brutal deaths here. I mean,
he hooked people up.
He's not typically evil. It's more again a revenge thing. I think it's very simple. He's slashing. He's definitely slashing. No, yeah, I feel like it's got to be a 2. I think it's very similar to Ghostface. So we gave Ghostface a 2.
Yeah,
in this category, so I think it's pretty equal.
His hideout and his lair. It's better than a high school kid's mom's house.
It's better. It's a dank boat. It's better than the dank warehouse.
Yeah.
That
it's mobile.
That Jigsaw. It is mobile.
I mean, you can get to international waters if you need to.
Yep, you can get away. It's a getaway boat. I mean, the boat kind of sucks, but it's also pretty convenient.
Yeah.
So maybe 3.
I'll go 3. That's good.
Yeah.
What about his body count? Now, I've only seen the first movie. I don't think I've ever seen the other one, and I don't know how they calculate these.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure in the third one or it's not him in the second one. I believe. I feel like it's a different person.
I never saw the second one,
let alone the third one. Second one has Jack Black. That's all you need to know.
Oh man, Jack Black was in that.
Jack Black was in that.
Shout out to one of our old on-demand episodes.
24 kills in 3 movies. Yeah, I mean, what do we got? 8+ kills per movie. He's slashing teens. This is pretty respectable, right?
If you can kill that many teens across those movies, I think it's respectable.
I think we'll give him a 3. I mean, I'm fine with it.
I have a very strong feeling on the head-to-head with this one.
You go ahead. You lead the way because I'm kind of stumped. Because
I think Slicker Man all the way because Ghostface. Okay, it's like a teenager kid and Slicker Man's out. He's killing teenagers. Mm-hmm. It's not even a contest to me.
So it's prey. But
I'm not going to give it a landslide.
Can I counterpoint?
Yes,
Can I counterpoint? There's 2 of them.
All right, fair enough.
It's Billy Loomis and it's
That's
Stu.
true. So maybe if Slickerman's going to kill the other one, Stu's on the other side, and he gets him.
Knife in the back. Right?
Yeah, so that's a fair point. So maybe it isn't Slickerman all the way.
I think whatever it is, it's 5'4". But yeah. Should we give the nod to the old man because he's got dad strength?
He's got the dad strength, and he's got the boat, so he's mobile. And I think they maybe just got their license. They can't even drink yet.
If he finds a way to get them at sea, then he may have the upper hand.
Yeah, I think 5'4". And let's see how it nets out.
If he shows up in a high school or some teenager's party, then they have the upper hand.
I mean, he could pretend he's a dad visiting parent-teacher day, and then he could put the Slicker thing on.
Fair.
You know? I say
5'4" close matchup. Let's give the nod to Slicker Man.
Let's see. Keep me honest on these. So I'll recap. Ghostface, the 7 seed. Look and style was a 4. Motivation was a 4. Degree of brutality and evilness was a 2. 1 for hideout and a lair. And the body count was a 3. And the head-to-head was a 4. Lost 5-4 to Slickerman on that. Slickerman's recap was 3 for look and style, 2 for motivation, 2 for degree of evil and brutality. The hideout and lair was the 3. Body count was a 3. And then I mentioned head-to-head was a 5. What was the totals?
We have 18 for Ghostface and 18 for Slicker Man. We didn't account for this.
God.
Drew. We didn't account for this.
All right, I'm going to
make an executive decision right now, Drew.
Executive decision.
All right, you say who you want to advance, and I'm going to say who I want to advance together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ghostface.
Ghostface. Okay. All right. I think we're in agreement on that.
Okay.
Right. 18 to 30. What I'll do is just give them a 5 for the thing. We can 5-5 it. Yeah. And then I'll make the scores work on the bracket here.
All right, Drew. So that wraps up the first round. Quick recap. Lowest score was the Xenomorph with a 12. High score, we had Chucky with a 22. That's out of 30. And overall, we have Pinhead, Jaws, Chucky, and Ghostface advancing to round 2.
Oh, man. I can't wait. I'm very curious how to see this. Yeah. So let's just start with the first one. Let's go with the 1 seed Mike Myers versus Pinhead here, the 8 seed. Somehow Pinhead made it through with his weird BDSM leather chains and boxes and all this stuff. We're not going to go through his scores. We already know them. We'll do the head-to-head at the end. Let's just start with Michael Myers. His weapons, his fashion, his look, his style. Is there anybody more iconic than Michael Myers? Maybe Jason Voorhees, but Michael Myers is like the de facto horror villain.
Yeah. I mean, we got the janitor's, jumpsuit with the white mask, the William Shatner mask, if you will.
It's a very cheap costume, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But it's all he could find that laying around the house, man. So, like I said, it's iconic. It's like Ghostface in that it's just automatically is going to get points just because of how classic it is. So, I mean, I would almost give him a 5.
You got to go 5. It's a classic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's simple, but it works, and it's classic.
That's why he's the 1 seed, man. That's why he's the 1 seed.
It's 5. He doesn't even need to do much work here. He's already doing it.
He didn't scout Pinhead. He just showed up.
No.
So.
What's his motivation? I don't even, to be honest.
That's the question mark. We don't know. It's pure evil, and we'll get into that in the next category. But I feel like that's been the question of the series, is that nobody knows. And the Rob Zombie movies tried to answer this and give him a childhood backstory, and people did not like it.
Yeah,
including me. I thought
he doesn't need it. He doesn't need that. Wasn't he in a shed or something, as a kid or something in the Rob Zombie ones?
Yeah, or he was
treated poorly.
Or he was chained up to a chair or whatever. I don't know.
They don't need
it's
that.
I don't know. It seemed kind of forced. So the mystery is part of the thing with his mystique. So for that reason, I mean, he's not going to get a high score here, but he'll make up for it in other areas, I'm sure.
Yeah, because he has not really much motivation other than killing. Is it puts him higher on the degree of evil because no motivation and lots of killing is a higher degree of evil, right?
So it's low on one, high on the other. So I mean,
I don't know.
I think we got to give him a 1 just because there is 0.
There
really
isn't a motivation,
yeah, right?
At least that I'm aware of. And this is me, horror noob. So then his degree of evil and his brutality is way high, though, because he doesn't have any motivation. He just does it.
I mean, his super strength plus his, just pure evil, they call him the Shape. He's the Shape.
I'm going to ask you this. Is he supernatural or is he a human?
That is also a highly debated topic. I feel like he's human.
So we had this debate before we recorded because we were going to give different groupings to the bracket, and then we just scrapped it because we were going to have animals and supernatural beings, and I don't know. It just got too complicated. But what do you think? You think he's supernatural?
I think he's human. I do think he's a human, but he has superhuman strength.
He's been alive forever, though.
I know, but like, I mean, he's like, he gets caught and he gets put back in the psychiatric ward. I guess it's depending on which timeline you're looking at. The Rob Zombie movies kind of go the other way. He gets decapitated in H2O, and I don't know where that storyline gets played off. But like, I feel like he's more human than, say, a Jason. You know,
fair enough.
I feel like he's a human, but I guess there are ways you can go both ways on it.
What do you think for his degree of evil and brutality?
I think it's 5 because like he's like that's the thing, that's his thing in the movie. He's pure evil. There's no reason for it. There's a blank stare in his eyes.
What about his hideout in his lair? Is it the psych ward? Is it like the shed? Like what is his layout? What is his lair?
It's just that house, right? It's his house.
But it's like that's a good house, like as opposed to Skeet Ulrich's house where he's like hanging out like at a high school party. Like this is a creep house. Like you don't want to be in this house.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for him though.
Well, that's what I mean. It's a good one.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's a good layout. It's a good.
So like
good
every Halloween he returns to the house, but like people know he's going there. But like he'll still get a roundabout way to.
And you're not going to get him though.
To fool somebody. He's pretty smart. This guy.
What do you say? 3?
He's underrated in his smarts. I don't know. I guess
maybe a 2. I like it, but
3 is fine.
All right.
Yeah.
What about his body count and his kill count? It's pretty high.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty high. 133. I mean, geez. I know there's been a lot of movies. There's been 4, 5. Maybe 8, maybe 9. I don't know. And like I watched the newest one, Halloween Kills, and I gotta tell you, Drew, it kind of like, there was like a massacre of firemen. They were trying to put a fire out that he was in the house of. Like he was getting burned and they were trying to put the fire out and he started massacring them. And it just turned me off. Like I didn't
laugh.
I didn't like it. Drew. It was too brutal. Yeah, but that's the kind of thing. Like he doesn't discriminate. That's why he got a 5 for brutality. And that's why his death count is so high, is because if you're in the way, if
you're there, he's going to kill you.
If you're there, he's going to get you.
He's going to kill you.
Yeah.
He doesn't care who you are.
Yeah.
I heard the new one wasn't that good, but I didn't watch it. So.
It wasn't, but like, what is it supposed to be? It's whatever.
How many times can you have him just killing people?
Right, yeah. I'm going to give him a 5 just because it's 130. He's over the century mark. I mean, that's impressive to me.
Now, this one's going to be interesting here because, you look at Pinhead versus Michael Myers. And, you got like... This is going to be interesting because now I asked you the question earlier, like who's supernatural? So if he's a human, can he beat Pinhead? I don't know.
And also, he's pure evil. Isn't that exactly the kind of opponent Pinhead is looking for?
So like Pinhead wants the evil so he has a challenge.
Yeah. And also to like torture someone who has like sinned, for lack of a better word.
That's true. That's true. But what I don't understand is like, how would Mike Myers even fight him if again, same thing before, like, unless he's supernatural, like how could he take him on? Unless he just outlasts him, because you can't really kill Mike Myers either. Right.
And like, I don't know, Pinhead, maybe like you can't hurt him, but like, what if he just snapped his neck and turned his head around?
Fair enough.
Then what? But we could have said the same thing. What if he
disappears? He goes in the box or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Goes in the box, yeah. This is a tough one. I mean, there's a scenario where Mike Myers wins the fight but still advances.
That's true.
Not that we're rooting for Mike Myers. Hey, upsets happen. The 8-1 seed, it happens. But
we could call it a draw too, just because we can't score it.
Yeah, it's tough to beat Pinhead without like, I don't know. I feel like you beat Pinhead by like absolving your sins of some kind, or like
need some holy water in it.
Yeah, outsmarting him, and that's just something Mike Myers isn't going to do. He's not going to stoop to that level. He's going to use his brutality. He's a smart guy. Mike Myers is smart.
I don't know that they could fight. Like it almost doesn't work.
Yeah, he has to fight jobbers, doesn't he?
You want to do 5s?
It doesn't work. Yeah.
Do you want to do 5s and call it a draw?
Yeah, let's call it a draw.
All right. Let's.
I think that easily puts Mike Myers into the second round.
Yeah, let's recap Mike Myers' score, and then I'll tell you the Pinhead one. Mike Myers had a 5 Michael Myers had a 5 for look and style, a 1 for motivation, a 5 for degree of evil and brutality, a 3 for hideout and lair, a 5 for body count, and then the head-to-head, it was a draw with Pinhead 5-5 because we can't really decide whether he's supernatural or not. It's kind of a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
And then that gives what was Pinhead's score with the 5 then?
Pinhead was a 20, and now he has the same score now with a 20 because he got a 5 for his fight too. Because he's a tough customer.
So
Mike Myers ended up with 24.
24.
So
right.
Which is so far the high score of the tournament and advancing
makes sense.
to the semifinals.
All right, that makes sense.
All right,
I think that's good. So Mike Myers defeats Pinhead. He's the 1 seed in the semifinals.
Yep. Let's move on to Leatherface versus Jaws. Your boy. Jaws.
All right, let's see. Leatherface versus Jaws. Man, this is it's going to be a good one here. So the look and the style of Leatherface. There's another iconic villain. It's the 4 seed here. It's I don't know. He looks pretty cool, even though he's kind of weird.
He's wearing the skin on his face. He's got like the butcher's thing going on.
He's got a chainsaw.
The chainsaw counts as part of his aesthetic as well. He's got the dance, Everybody loves the dance. I don't know, man. I mean, 4 or 5. What your call?
I'll go 4 because
it's no less.
It's a 4, I think, because it's good, but I've seen better.
I've seen better.
I mean, I put it this way: it's great, but I've seen better.
Right.
Hence Mike Myers.
But
it's great. I mean, it's just 1 step below Mike Myers.
Yeah.
Just 1 step below. But wearing the skin's pretty.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, the reason why these guys got buys is because they are iconic.
Yes.
And a lot of that is their look.
They all can't get a 5.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would say that he gets a 4 for that. But what about his motivation and his reason for killing?
This one I struggle with because
he's just mad, right?
Does he have motivation?
I don't really get it. Like, he's just a butcher and a serial killer, and his goals, according to the Villains Wiki, are kill anybody for food.
Yeah,
he mostly succeeded, but he ultimately failed.
They are cannibals. I mean, his family are cannibals.
See, that adds to the evil.
Yeah.
But the motivation to me is he's hungry. Again, same with the other one. He's hungry.
And I think it's kind of like a Michael Myers situation here, where
I think it's a 1.
Yeah, I mean 1. I mean, it might be. I feel like I want to give him a 2. Just because it's slightly higher than Michael Myers on the motivation factor.
At least he's got a purpose. He's hungry.
Yeah.
All right, let's go 2. What about... So this is where I think he's going to go higher again. The degree of evil and brutality, because cannibalism, 1, is going to put you on the top of the charts.
Yeah,
and then just wearing someone's skin?
Yeah, if you're going to eat somebody and wear their skin, I mean, you're going to get a 5. I mean, that's pretty much what it boils down to.
It's got to be a 5, right?
Yeah.
All right. What about his hideout in his lair? It's in that creepy house. And don't they have people's skin under in the basement?
It's got the house in Texas. Got the basement. It's danky. It's dusty. It's dirty. You got the butcher, the cattle area over there. It's the whole farm. I mean, it's pretty iconic, but I wouldn't go so far as to call it a 5 either.
It's not a cool place, but it's a good trap place for other people.
Yeah, I think it's effective, but otherwise not super impressive, which is why I would say a 3 would work.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah.
What about his body count?
All right. So we have an on tally of 31 kills. And that is 1, 2, 3, maybe 6 movies, 5 or 6 movies. Is that impressive? I mean, it's impressive in that he doesn't travel.
Yeah. I mean, they came to him and he took him out.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I think I've seen better. I think maybe a 3? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it should be higher, right?
He's not doing anything special. He's just sawing people and eating them.
Yeah.
I say 3.
He's just sawing people and eating them. That's all he's doing.
I just see it. I mean, he's chainsawing them, right? Like Fred Durst over here.
Yeah.
It's
get your ass raw.
I think it's Lip Biscuit. I think it's a 3, right?
So come and get it. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
We got a Limp Bizkit fan over here.
Man, we're talking about Chucky and Limp Bizkit in the same episode. This is like my dream episode.
Let's do a recap. Oh my God. 4 for look and style. This is Leatherface, the 4 seed. 4 for look and style, 2 for motivation, 5 for degree of brutality because he's wearing that skin.
Mm-hmm.
3 for the hideout. It's all right. Body count's a 3. Should have been better. And then the head to head, man. Jaws versus Leatherface.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do, man? Your boy. I mean, I don't think Leatherface is affected by seasickness.
He can't swim, though. You think this guy can swim?
He definitely can't swim. But does he have to? Does he have to?
Well, let's say, like, so what would he be after Jaws? Would Jaws like leap out of the water and get him? Like, what's the scenario where they would even be
Imagine
a
scenario where they built a large above ground pool on the property of his house.
How did Jaws get in it?
And then there's a walkway. You remember Ace Ventura?
Yeah.
Where he went to the rich guy's house and he fell into the pool. That's like the walkway I'm talking about. And then Leatherface would be on the walkway and Jaws is in the tank. And then that's how they fight.
So is someone setting the fight up, or is it like there's a scenario where
it's the only way? Because Leatherface is not leaving the house. He just doesn't leave the house.
You know, like they did Jason X in space. Like, what if they did like Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw on like the beach, and somehow Jaws migrated to like the Gulf of Mexico, you know?
Yeah.
And he was in there, and then they had the house on the beach. Like, This is another one that I don't know how you head to head this, but
I feel like if like say Leatherface was on a boat. He's got the chainsaw. I feel like he's pretty good with it. I think he could like get enough teeth sawed off that Jaws would either forfeit or eventually succumb.
But what if Jaws hit the boat and he rocked the boat and the guy fell on his own chainsaw? Yeah. And he's not going to want to eat the shark. He wants to eat people. So he's going to eat the crew on the boat and they're not going to save him.
And just imagine. So Leatherface has other person's skin on his face. That's like double human.
Jaws is going to go nuts.
For Jaws, that's like double blood.
You get the chum in the water.
It's a double blood. I don't know, man. I feel like either way, it's close. If Leatherface falls into the ocean, he's done because he doesn't swim.
Yeah,
but
I hate to draw it again, but it could be a draw.
I don't know, man. I feel like Leatherface would get him. Like, you think so? Sticking out the chainsaw, but it's 5-4. It's like real close.
I'm going 5. I'll go with 5-4 with you too. So. What is that for the total?
It's actually a good fight.
I would pay to watch that.
So do you want to recap Jaws for us?
Yeah. So Jaws had a 3 for look and style, 3 for motivation, 2 for degree of brutality, 3 for hideout and lair, a 3 for body count, and now he's getting a 4 for the head to head versus the 5 for Leatherface, and then Leatherface had a 4 for look and style, 2 for motivation, 5 for degree of evil, 3 for layout. Body count was a 3, and then the 5 was a head-to-head. What do you have the totals as?
Giving us a total of 18 for Jaws, losing a point on his previous, and a score of 22 for Leatherface.
All right, I could see it.
Which advances him to the next round.
I could see it.
Tied for second highest score with Chucky.
All right, so we did my boy. Now it's your boy.
Now it's my boy.
Let's see how Chucky does against the 3-seed Jason Voorhees.
All right.
Of the Jason fame. So look and style, Jason Voorhees. I mean, another one. It's like a Mike Myers.
We've talked about it. It's got to be a 4 or a 5.
I say 5.
I mean, multiple iterations of hockey masks. All of them work. He's got just tattered rags.
He's a machete
from all of his killings, and he just lives in the Crystal Lake. So his clothes are like constantly wet. They're saturated. They're saturated, Drew.
It's got to be a 5. It has
the machete works. It's a 5.
I went 2 for the Texas Chainsaw guy, but I think this is a 5 to me. Like it's although you get the skin on the face, but the hockey mask is awesome. So let's go 5.
Yeah.
And then what's his motivation? Right, he drowned when people were having sex at a camp.
Yeah, that was exactly what happened. He drowned while people were having sex. No, that's pretty much it. I mean, I feel like he was neglected and also he was bullied while a member of said camp, Crystal Lake. And so he pretty much kills anyone who steps foot on that property. And then he eventually branches out. My favorite, when he went to Manhattan. He took Manhattan. I don't know if you knew that.
He took it. Jason took Manhattan.
He took Manhattan. So,
didn't he take hell at one point too? Jason goes to hell?
He went to hell. He didn't take it.
He went there.
He went there.
He went there. I wonder if he saw a Pinhead there when he was there with the box.
I wish.
But is his motivation good? Because it's sort of like when we talked about the other ones, like he's killing, but I kind of get it. I kind of get it. Yeah. He drowned because they were too busy banging.
Yeah. And it's also kind of like it's kind of like a mom thing too.
Yeah,
he's like egged on by the mother. He gets him higher. I think he deserves higher than a lot of these other people as far as motivation goes.
I agree.
I mean, he's kind of a zombie ish scenario, but he does have feelings, and they were hurt, especially as a child. He's a childlike brain. I'm gonna say at least 3.
I think it's a 3.
You want to go 3?
I think 3,
Okay.
3 or 4. I'll let you pick.
I think 3 is good.
Let's do 3.
Because 4 is like, I don't know, the mom's a part of it, and he's kind of being manipulated by an evil mother.
That's fair.
So it's not his own thoughts; it's the thoughts of someone else. Him trying to please his mother. So
What about his degree of evil and brutality? Because like the plan of the reason, I get that it's 3. He's getting the revenge, but the brutality, like he's just slashing.
yeah, and he has some particularly brutal kills. Like he is the powerhouse of this group, Drew. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the man handling and the woman handling that goes on in these movies, I think it needs to be addressed.
Yeah,
and a score needs to be given. And I feel like it's a 4 or a 5 scenario.
So by comparison, we gave Michael Myers a 5. So how does it compare to like a Michael Myers then?
Like he will fold a body in half backwards, Drew.
Yeah,
like
I think it's a 5.
You don't just do that.
It's got to be.
I think it's a 5. Like
these guys are the powerhouses, as you said.
Yeah.
So what about his hideout in his lair? I mean, sleeping at the bottom of a lake is pretty badass.
Yeah. I mean,
like, he's in the lake.
Yeah, he's in the lake, man. I mean, you don't go near that lake.
That's like we should have had Jaws versus Jason. That's a more fair fight.
So we can not only call the lake, but the campgrounds themselves. I mean, is that impressive to you? Or I mean, it's kind of cool, right? It's like a summer camp. He
grew up there. It's
that's his
cool
stomping.
place.
It's his stomping grounds. Like that entire that's his domain.
He knows that place better than
all
anybody.
of those cabins are his, Drew.
Yeah.
Does that count to you? Does that matter to you?
And he annexed Manhattan too, so you got that.
He took it.
Time.
He took it.
It's his. So he's got that too, and he has hell.
He has Camp Crystal Lake, and he has all of Manhattan.
Yeah, I mean he took it, so he annexed it.
Yeah,
I think it's got to be pretty good. I mean, again, by comparison, I think we gave Michael Myers a 3.
Yeah, I think it's got to be. I think
3.
it's better. I think it's better.
3 to 4.
Yeah, I think it's a 4.
All right, let's go 4.
I think it's 4 because I'm a fan of the camp.
What about his body count?
Drew, I mean, this guy, he's breaking the scale here. 151.
Yeah, I mean that's the most of anybody, right?
It's a lot of movies. It's, I don't know, 11, 12 movies, I think. But still, that's like, my math is way off, but it's at least like 13, 14 kills per movie. Brutally done, mind you.
5?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say 4 just because he's probably has the most movies, I think.
Okay.
Of all these people.
It down.
It waters it down a little bit. But
let's go 4.
Let's go 4. Let's go 4.
Okay. And then head to head. So I'll recap Chucky real quick. Mm-hmm. So Chucky had a 5 for look and style, a 4 for motivation, a 3 for degree of brutality and evil, a 3 for the lair and hideout, and then a 3 for the body count. Or did I mix up some of those? That was a 4 maybe.
A 3 for lair.
Yeah.
3 for body count.
Yeah. And then so we need to do this head to head here. Jason versus Chucky. Like this kid, it's a tough one, man.
Drew, I love him. Drew. He's my boy. Chucky's my boy. But what's he gonna do?
Dude, can you see Jason Voorhees just like Mark McGuire, like macheteing Chucky?
Now, my only saving grace is there a scenario where Chucky could befriend Jason and put his soul inside? Is that a scenario that could happen?
Well, Jason Voorhees does have a childlike brain.
Right?
And
yes.
Chucky is a manipulator of children. So you bring up a good point. This is actually a fairer fight than you think.
Because like he could act like a doll for a long time and Jason
that's true.
Just keeps the doll around. And then on one day the doll starts talking to him. This could be an infiltration scenario.
That's very true.
But in the long run, I mean, Jason's going to hack him, right?
I think Jason wins, and I think it's a 5-4 scenario kind of thing.
I think you're pretty generous with the 4. I mean, let's do it. But
if you want it lower, you can make it lower. 5-2?
I think the mental gymnastics that Chucky would do is fits with the childlike brain.
Yeah.
But once the gig is up, it's over.
It's over. That's true.
There's nothing that Chucky could do.
That's fair.
Let's go 3. Let's go 3. Right. Just because the physical
5-3
is just too much. Yeah.
All right. I already did the recap of the scores. Go totals for me here.
So we have 5, 3, 5, 4, 4, 5. So that's 15, 18, 22, 26 for Jason. High score of the field. And Chucky going 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Chucky lost a point in the fight. And he is now out of the running. Jason advances.
I want to say Jason was underseeded here as well. Like, but he wasn't. It's hard when you get the top 4 here.
Yeah, I mean, our last competitor is in the next round, and we will take a look here because it is Freddy. I mean, we could have juggled them either way. I mean, it's really it's apples and oranges.
Let's jump into this one. It's Freddy Krueger versus Ghostface. Let's go Freddy Krueger. His look and style. I mean, another iconic. Like, this is like the other. It's just the top 4, right?
It's a 5. Like, I'm sorry, it's a 5. There's a reason they're high seeds. Like we would love an upset, but like I don't know if it's going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's a 5, and there's no way Ghostface is. I'll have thoughts on this in a second. We'll get to it. What about Freddy's motivation? Wasn't he like a child predator or something?
Yeah,
and he got burned alive.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, he is a not convicted, but like, what's the word where like the vigilante justice was served?
Yeah,
the parents pretty much put him out of business in the child molesting game. So my question to you is: so he's a child molester. He's a child molesting murderer, right?
It's like the worst.
So is that worse, or is a murdering child molester worse?
Oh my god, it's so bad. Either way, it's bad. I think either way. I can't even decide that.
You're a child molesting murderer, or you're a murdering child molester.
I think the first is worse.
Okay, all right.
It's the worst. But his motivation, I don't really get his motivation. Like, he's getting back at people?
It's revenge. No, it's revenge. Like, he's killing the kids of the parents that murdered him when he, was the janitor or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
Did he molest those kids?
No. He molested Wait, okay. I'm going to read this straight from Villain Wiki. To kill the children of all of the parents of Springwood as revenge for them bullying him, taking his daughter away, and burning him alive.
So they took his daughter away. Okay, that's actually pretty good motivation.
It is good motivation. So he's killing the kids of the people that wronged him. That's what he's doing.
I think that's actually pretty damn good motivation.
Yeah,
that's like 3 or 4 motivation.
I mean, he's wrong, clearly.
Fair enough.
Like, he's evil, but like the thinking of an evil mind going through, it's like, yeah, it makes sense. What do you say? 4, 5,
I want to say a 4.
4? We're going 4.
Let's go 4. What about his degree of evil and brutality? Like, if you're going into people's dreams,
and like very creative ways of killing too. I mean,
and he's got we talked about his look and style. I guess it doesn't tie into the brutality, but he's got like the glove with the knives on it.
Yeah,
like, I don't know, his degree of evil and brutality. Like, he's getting back at all of these people. It's pretty evil and it's pretty ruthless, and he's sort of demonic, isn't he? He's not a demon, but he sort of is.
Yeah. So I believe that, like, just as we give Jason high score for brutality part of the evil / brutality, it's the other way for Freddy. It's the evil. Factoring in his child predator scenario, it's like
pretty bad.
It's the evil's up there.
It's got to be 4, right?
Yeah, let's go 4.
All right.
Just because he probably could be more brutal, even though he's plenty brutal.
Now, his hideout in his lair.
Come on, boiler room?
No, your dreams.
Or in your dreams. Oh, I mean, really, it's a boiler room, but in your dreams.
It's a boiler room of your dreams, right? It's boiler room. It's either a 1 or a 5.
Yeah. It's like if he were in wrestling, boiler room brawl. I mean, he'd get you.
A stretcher match to Lucha Town match.
Yeah, right.
I think. I don't know which you pick on this one then. I don't know which one, but I think hiding out in your dreams.
Yeah, I mean that's a great place to hide. I mean, really. It's a great, they say you live rent free in someone's head.
Yeah.
It's like,
he's living rent free in their head.
This is him, baby. He's mooching. It's gotta
be a 5.
Yeah,
right?
It's a 5. It's a 5.
What about his body count?
This was surprising to me. 39 kills.
That's a lot lower than I expected.
And he's been in freaking 7, 8, 9 movies.
But is he killing? He's only killing a couple at a time, right? The expectation maybe isn't high. Like, he's only going after the people that wronged him.
Yeah, but I think that kind of waters down after a couple movies, doesn't it?
He just likes it.
After a while, he's like, you know what? This is kind of fun. We can expand our horizons here.
I kind of like this.
Yeah. So I feel like this is his one weakness, that he could have killed more. Could have killed more. I'm gonna give it a 3. What do you think?
That's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah. I think that's fair.
So there we go.
Let's see. Let's recap. Ghostface look and style was a 4. Motivation was a 4. Degree of evil brutality was a 2. A hideout and lair was a 1. The body count was a 3. Head to head, we'll get to in a second. Look and style for Freddy was a 5. Motivation was a 4. Degree of brutality was a 4. Hideout and lair was a 5. The body count was a 3.
3.
Head to head. I mean, this. Look.
What do you say? You got thoughts?
Freddy Krueger is terrorizing kids and teenagers. Ghostface is come on.
Yeah, it's like Skeet. It's Skeet and Stu.
Skeet Ulrich, and you got him, and you got freaking
It's not
Matthew
really
Lillard.
a fair fight. Again, there's 2 of them,
Dude,
but that's like all the better for
those
Freddy.
guys would be cowering in their mom's basement, pissing their pants.
In their
this
Gap
is a
sweaters,
5
they'd be
to 1.
They'd be shitting in their Gap sweaters.
This is a 5 to 1. It's not even close.
Yeah, it's the blowout of the cinch for sure.
It's not even a fair fight. I mean, come on, 5 to 1, absolutely.
I mean, we already know who won, but by how much is the question? 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 for Ghostface, and we have 10, 18, 19, 20, 21, 26.
Ooh, it's
tying
a tie.
Jason.
Man.
As we got our semifinals wrapped up, ready to rock and roll. As we wind it down, Drew, we're in the final stages here, Drew. We have 3 matchups left, 2 semis, and a final where we're just going to discuss head-to-head, I believe. Is that correct, Drew?
Yeah, we're just going head-to-head here.
Yep, so we're wrapping up here as we have our matchups. What do we have? We have Michael Myers versus Leatherface and Jason versus Freddy, a familiar matchup.
This worked out pretty good, didn't it? We still got we got the Jason Freddy, and we didn't try to do that on purpose.
No, I mean,
and you got the 1-4, 2-3.
They powered through. I mean, we would have liked to see an upset, but the stats just didn't line up, and they're icons for a reason.
I'm a little sad Jaws didn't make it further, but I don't know how Jaws is going to be Leatherface.
Yeah, a Jaws versus Michael Myers matchup would have been killer for sure.
I would have liked to see Jason Voorhees versus Jaws, because that's like a water versus water.
Yeah.
Like, that's a fairer fight.
I want to see Chucky. I want to see our boys Chucky versus Jaws. Really,
I would like that. A toy versus an animal.
But dude, Slicker Man versus Jaws. That's a matchup right there.
How did we not? He's a fisherman.
You talk about a neutral field.
How did we need the loser bracket?
Yeah.
The losers bracket, man.
Yeah.
At the end, if we don't have any time, but at the end, we really need to do Slicker Man versus Jaws.
That would have been the matchup of the century.
How did we not think of that? Yep. Oh my gosh.
Well, opportunities missed.
Well, we're like 5 hours in, so we're going to try to power through these. All right, let's just dive right back into this. We got the 1 seed versus the 4 seed, Mike Myers versus Leatherface. Mike Myers holds a 2-point lead. This head-to-head is brutal. We got to see what's going to happen. He's going to need to beat him by at least more than 2 if we want Leatherface to win. I don't think it's going to happen, Badway.
No, and I feel like this is a quick fight because Mike Myers is smart.
He's
and
relentless.
Leatherface is decidedly not smart.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like when you talk about 2 guys with superhuman strength.
Yeah.
The brains are definitely going to be the factor, right?
And I think Michael Myers, to me, is a little. I still am holding the fact that I think he's a bit supernatural. I don't think Leatherface has it in him.
No.
And I think he stands no chance.
Yeah. Like, I think if it were like a fist fight and you take all the weapons out and you put them in a ring,
right,
it would be a close fight, but Michael Myers would win in the long run. So to that, I think that Myers wins close fight. Myers already had the lead, so I think it's obvious who moves on, right?
Yeah. What are you saying? Like a 5-2?
I give Leatherface a little more credit than that.
5-3?
I say 3. Could have been a 4. It's just that I think Myers can like disappear on him and reappear.
Yeah.
And like Michael Myers is really good at playing the hiding game, and Leatherface is, teenagers can fool him when hiding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
what do we got? A 24-20 then, I guess?
Yeah, we got a 24-20. That seems right to me, and that moves Michael Myers on to the finals.
Mike Myers is a 24-20 win. The 1 seed goes to the finals here. Yeah. Let's see. So the ultimate throwdown of the century, as many movies would decide. Yeah. People that are a lot smarter than us in terms of horror movies still don't know the answer to this fight, and they're going to let us 2 amateurs decide who wins in Freddy versus Jason.
I mean, this is really the ultimate, this is gospel right here, because people that don't know what they're talking about should be deciding this.
We shouldn't be, but
the movie Freddy versus Jason couldn't even figure it out, right?
It's a literal tie here, too.
Do you remember watching this movie in the theater?
I do.
You took me to an employee screening of this movie. It was a midnight screening, and it was one of the most fun times I've ever had in a movie theater.
I had a blast watching this movie.
It was so fun. It was like right side was Freddy or left side was Jason, whatever it was. I believe we were on Team Jason. I don't know, man. So in the movie, let's start with the movie. So Freddy vs. Jason, they have, I believe, 3 fights, and they were pretty awesome, all 3 of them. Jason's got the upper hand in one, Freddy in the other, and then the third fight was basically a draw, which ended in Jason cutting off Freddy's head. But as he's carrying the head out of Camp Crystal Lake's lake, that's redundant, Freddy gave us a little wink and a smile, letting us know that, hey, this ain't over, buddy. So, I mean, that's where we stand right now. Yes. So, what do you think? I mean, is there anywhere to go from here? Do we consider Jason's one-up there enough to push him through? Or do you think Freddy would have something else up his sleeve?
Man, I mean, Freddy he can be in your dreams. And I think it's like the supernatural aspect of it that's tricky.
But he did that versus Jason, and he got the upper hand, but it didn't last.
I still think Jason's going to win, personally. Mm-hmm. And we were Team Jason when we watched that movie. I'm Team Jason right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Jason went to space. Come on now.
I mean, yeah. Freddy never went to space.
Freddy can't fly in a rocket ship. I mean, come on.
Are there dreams in space? They say there's no sound in space. Are there dreams in space, Drew?
I want to say Jason, but honestly, it's a coin flip. It really is.
Yeah.
You can't, as you said, the movie couldn't even decide.
Yeah.
I would pick Jason, but it's a fair fight, I guess. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that the fact that the movie already explored the possibility of Freddy infiltrating Jason's dream, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. And Freddy still couldn't get the job done. Like he beat him down pretty good. Had him crying like a little baby kid.
Yeah.
At one point. But, you could say the logic of Jason being afraid of water, which was the impetus for the dream scenario, is kind of out of it's kind of out of canon.
Yeah.
And it was weird. It was a weird choice. So that makes me think that in another fight that Jason just brutalizes him.
I kind of want to say 5-4. Like, don't you think?
It's close, but Jason will take the win. If you chop the head off, like he could chop more of the head. So, like, I think it's over.
Yeah. So what is that? That gives Freddy a 25, and what do we have? A 26 for Jason?
Correct. 25, 26.
25, 26, and then you got Mike Myers versus Jason, which is like kind of the same person, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
In the finals here. What do you think? I mean, are we going to get flack for this?
No, I mean, I'm sure that there's plenty of discussions. A lot of horror movie buffs that have had this discussion before, more eloquently than we ever could. So what would we have? What do we have? We have Jason with a 2-point lead. So Myers would have to beat him by 2 points to even get the tie here.
Yeah.
Do you see a scenario where Michael Myers can whoop Jason's ass to the tune of 5-3 or lower?
I don't, because I think Jason's sleeping in the lake, man. You can't. I just don't see it happening. And
he's probably more powerful, and he has again. This lends to the scenario of: do you think Michael Myers is supernatural or not?
I think Michael Myers is a psychopath, and I think that he is relentless and brutal.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I think Jason is supernatural.
We know for a fact that Jason is supernatural.
Yeah,
he can kind of teleport. He can kind of teleport a little bit.
And again, did Michael Myers go to space?
He didn't go to space.
I mean, Jason's an astronaut. Come on.
And does Michael Myers own Manhattan? I forget. Remind me.
No, it's true. I
mean,
Jason owns it.
Jason owns it. He took it. So.
He didn't even pay for it. He just took it. He annexed it.
What a villain. He took it. He didn't pay for it.
He rolled up in there, man.
He said, let me get that.
Let me get that.
He came off the boat and said, let me get that real quick.
And Michael Myers didn't visit hell, did he?
No, he didn't.
So Jason is so he's an astronaut.
He's
before
a spaceman.
Even SpaceX or Blue Origin. He didn't even go to privatized space.
Yeah.
He went to space. He visited hell. He's a multi-dimensional explorer, and he lives in a lake.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I think he wins.
I think he wins. You're right.
I really think he wins. And I don't know the score. I'll let you decide.
I don't know. It might not even be 5-4. I think Freddy is a better adversary for Jason than Michael Myers is. So I kind of think this is a 5-3 scenario.
I think it's a 5-3.
Yeah.
I really do. So what would that would give Jason 26 again.
Yep.
And I think Mike Myers would have had what, a 22?
Yeah, Mike Myers gets bumped down to a 22.
22 versus a 26 again.
Yeah.
Man, that's
surprising end, and maybe it could have gone another way if Freddy advanced. Maybe Michael Myers could knock out Freddy. I think that I certainly might have voted that way, but hey, that's not what happened. What happened was that Jason advanced. Jason took on the matchup. It's a good matchup for Jason, and there you have it. Jason's our supervillain. The winner, Drew.
Of the Last Row podcast, Halloween villain. It's this extravaganza now.
It turned into one, didn't it?
6 hours later, it's an extravaganza.
The sun is peeking out of the horizon at my house, Drew.
I'll tell you, I'm glad we did this, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think that, and what I'm curious about is if people enjoy this, we don't have to stick to Halloween movies. I mean, we've been talking about doing the villain bracket for a long time with our other movies. Yes. We could really villain scale everybody and head to head some of these guys.
Yeah, I think that's a plan. Let us know if you guys like it, because we are kind of secretly plotting and planning a potential future extravaganza for maybe our 100th episode.
We do have 9 episodes left, right?
Yeah. I mean, so let us know what you think. Obviously, like we said, we're not the horror buffs that we are in, say, 90s action movies. But damn it, we gave it a shot. It was a lot of fun, Drew. I definitely want to do more of this kind of stuff in the future.
Where do you think the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus would have netted on here? You think them versus Freddy? Could they have taken them?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, our witches are very powerful beings, Drew.
That's true. Supernatural.
Yeah.
If you guys enjoyed this show, let us know. Write in thelastropodcast@gmail.com. Leave a comment on the episode's page, thelastropodcast.com. We'll have the episode show notes out there. Tweet at us at thelastropod, facebook.com/thelastropod. Leave a comment on the Instagram page. We'll be back in 2 weeks on November 11th after Halloween. We hope you guys enjoy the Halloween holiday. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you listen to it in multiple parts, let us know what you think. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Thanks to everyone that left one so far, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Do you think Jason ever wants to join in?
On the teens?
Yes. Like the lovemaking?
The jealousy is probably what drives the brutality, Drew.
That's the thing, right?
He's backed up, Drew.
That's what I mean. And
he's backed up. He needs release.
And what if he needs to? What if if he did that, would he stop killing?
You know what?
Movies never explored that, did they?
I feel like you're on this up here. And I'm surprised that no one has tried yet in 27 movies that no